Hi there, thanks for joining me today. I'm Jackie, and this is part 6 in a 9-part series I'm doing. I'm doing one video for each pane of glass in this 9-pane antique window. And I had been working on this project and I put it aside for a few months while I was doing some other things, but now I'm back to it. So if you missed my previous videos in this series, I'll put an icon up above and you can click on that and go to a whole playlist that I have of all my sailboats. I love making sailboats with sea glass. So I have quite a series of sailboat videos, and if you want to watch those, go for it. You can even just click on the playlist and watch the ones you want and skip the ones you don't want. So today, in this video, I'm going to create a sailboat sea glass scene in this pane of glass down here. So join me for that one. So I have everything I need to create this sea glass mosaic. I have a tray of brown sea glass, I have a tray of white sea glass, and a tray of green sea glass. Those are the 3 main colors that I use every time. And then I have a tray of other pieces that I'm going to be using to kind of give a bit of a focal point to this particular pane of glass. And then I have my Quick Seal kitchen and bath adhesive caulk. That's what I use for my glue. I have a couple of sticks for poking around at the pieces, and my craft tweezers. It's all I need, and I'm all set to go. So this pane of glass is 7 inches by 7 inches, and this is the bottom right hand corner of my entire piece. And I want to have one main focal point for this piece, which is a sailboat that's kind of got multiple sails on it. So I wanted to make this one with brown sails, and I have this really cool white shell that I wanted to use for the hull of the boat. And because I always like to put an inukshuk in my pieces, this is the only one of the 9 panes that will have an inukshuk, and I want it to be a fairly large one. So I got these big rocks. They look quite gray. They're kind of blue when you pick them up from the beach, and then they turn gray, but I think it makes a really cool inukshuk. So I'm going to put that down here in this corner. And then I wanted to have some big chunky browns on the bottom that are kind of like a rocky shore front where the inukshuk is standing. So I think that would go nice like that. So I'm looking for some kind of big browns in my collection here that I'll put down here in the bottom. And then I will do some green. Get my tray of green sea glass here. And I'm going to have the sailboat sailing along on green water. And then I'll fill in the sky with white. Now I always like to have a touch of blue in my pieces. So for this one, in each one of these panes, I want to have just a little bit of blue. And so I have 6 small blue pieces that I'm going to use to make 3 birds flying in the sky. I love doing like seagulls where you've got just two pieces and they kind of look like 2 wings of the bird flying through the sky. So that's a fairly simple, straightforward design. So I will go ahead and get all these pieces glued in place. So the lesson of the day for today is to be aware of the mark that you leave on this earth. So whenever I see an inukshuk, to me it's a sign that somebody has been there because they've built an inukshuk to indicate that I was here. So I always put an inukshuk in my sea glass pieces to really remind people that we leave a mark behind us, and we need to be thinking as we're going through our life, what mark are we leaving behind? In particular, I think of it when I'm at the beach, not to litter, but also in all my actions and the things that I do in life. I want to think about, am I leaving a good mark or a negative mark? What type of a mark am I leaving behind me? So I hope that the inukshuk in my pieces makes you stop and think about that. So thanks so much for joining me for part 6 in my Sailboat Sea Glass Mosaic series, and be sure to join me next time for part 7. And until next time, happy sea glass hunting!